Nanette's Baguette. Words and pictures by Willems. Nanette! Today is a day Nanette won't soon forget. Today, in the kitchenette, Mom tells Nanette that Nanette gets to get the baguette. Yeah? Baguettes are warm. Baguettes smell wonderful. Getting to get the baguette is Nanette's biggest responsibility yet. Is Nanette set to get the baguette? You bet, Super Nanette! But on the way, Nanette sees Georgette and Suzette and Brett with his clarinet. Look, there's Mr. Barnett with his pet, Antoinette. Aww. Nanette pets Antoinette. Did Nanette forget the baguette? Got a jet, I've got a baguette to get, says Nanette to the quartet. Baker Juliet has met Nanette. She knows it is Nanette's first baguette get. So Juliet gets Nanette the best baguette yet. Nanette, did you get the baguette? You bet! The baguette is warm, the baguette smells wonderful, and there sure is a lot of it. The baguette is warm, the baguette tastes wonderful, and there still is a lot of it. The baguette is still warm, the baguette still tastes wonderful, and there still is some of it. Can Nanette stop tasting the baguette? Not yet. Not yet. Yummy, yummy baguette. Oh no! There is no more baguette. Nanette begins to fret. Will Mom be upset? Will Mom regret you let Nanette get the baguette? Now Nanette is wet. Wet with no baguette. This is as bad as it can get. Nanette wishes Mom had never let Nanette get that baguette. Maybe Nanette will move to Tibet? Tibet is as far away as you can get. Nanette would need a jet. Can Nanette go home instead? Can Nanette face her mom? What will she do? Where's the baguette, Nanette? Asked Mom. Did you forget? Nanette did not forget. Nanette is upset. Nanette is beset with regret. She sweats. I hate the baguette. Oh, sweetie. Mom hugs Nanette. It is warm. It is wonderful, like a million baguettes. The day's not over yet, Nanette, says Mom. Let's reset. Yes, let's. Baker Juliet is surprised to see Nanette, but not too surprised. Nanette's mom gets another baguette. Now they are all set. Mom, Nanette, and a baguette. The baguette is warm. The baguette smells wonderful. Mom! Today is a day Nanette won't soon forget. Kindergarten, where kindness matters every day. Words by Vera, Ahiyya, the tutu teacher. Pictures by Chou. This is Leo. Leo is quiet. He likes to read in quiet, play games in quiet, even dance in quiet. He likes to talk to his mom and dad, Papa, Grandmommy, and Tulip. But Leo likes to be quiet with everyone else. Today, Leo is worrying about his first day of kindergarten. Why is Leo worried? Because a letter just arrived from his new teacher. Kindergarten, where kindness matters every day. Dear Leo, my name is Miss Perry. I will be your kindergarten teacher this year. On our first day, we will talk about how we are going to make our kindergarten into a kindergarten. So please come ready to share some ways you know how to be kind. This year will be filled with new and exciting adventures. We will learn so much together. I can't wait to meet you. Love, your teacher. For the next 2 weeks, Leo thinks about Miss Perry's letter every day. I don't want new and exciting adventures, he says to his dad. What do I know about kindness? He asks Tulip. I don't want to share anything with a new class, he whispers to Grandmommy. On the first day of school, Miss Perry greets Leo with a smile. Welcome, Leo, she says. Are you ready for your first day of kindergarten? Leo's heart goes ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. But he nods and then he whispers, I'm not sure. I understand how you feel, Leo. Anytime we do something new, it can feel scary, Miss Perry says. Let's make a plan. If you feel worried, just let me know. We can figure out what to do together. Now, let's go into the classroom and I'll introduce you to a new friend. Leo already likes Miss Perry, but he still feels worried. Leo, meet Lanisha, Miss Perry says. Hi, Lanisha says, looking up from a city she has been building out of blocks. But just as she looks up, crash! Oh no, Lanisha says. The sound of the crash is loud. Leo wants to run to a safe, quiet corner of the room, but instead he makes himself stay right where he is, helping Lanisha pick up the scattered pieces. As Lanisha and Leo finish cleaning up the blocks, Miss Perry calls the students to join her on the carpet. Hello again, everybody, says Miss Perry. Let's start by talking about the letter I sent to each of you. Today, we are going to make a kindness pledge. We will write down the different things we can do to make our kindergarten classroom a kindergarten. Who wants to start? Leo feels nervous. What if Miss Perry calls on him? Luckily, she calls on Juan. I raise my hand to share. I think that's a way to be kind. Juan is half joking, half serious. Everyone giggles. You are right, Juan. Miss Perry smiles. It's kind to raise our hands before sharing. A girl in the front is bouncing up and down. Yes, Chelsea, I say nice words to my friends, like please and thank you, or I love the way you drew the cat. Nice words are the best words, agrees Miss Perry. Let's add that to our pledge. After adding a few more ideas to the kindness pledge, Miss Perry announces, "It's time to move our bodies. Let's take a tour of the school. And remember, as we explore, to keep looking for ways to be kind so we can add them to our kindness pledge. The first stop is a small office. Leo likes Nurse Melissa's round face and big smile. Right next door is the library. When Leo sees a whole row of books about space, his heart does a happy dance. He loves planets. Leo wonders where they'll go next. The gym is the biggest room by far. PE teacher Miss Lauren has a question for the class. Does anyone have any ideas about ways we can show kindness in PE class? Many hands fly into the air. It's kind to ask others to play with you, cheers Reynolds. It's kind to not leave anyone out, Hannah chimes in. If you see someone fall down, help them up, suggests Naomi. Those are excellent ideas, says Miss Perry. Let's go back to the room and add them to our kindness pledge. After lunch, the class heads outside for recess. On the way, Leo nearly trips. Oh no, he thinks, looking down. How can I be ready for kindergarten when I don't even know how to tie my own shoes? Just then, Miss Perry appears at his side. May I? She bends down to fix his laces and speaks to him softly. Leo, she says, I know you will have fun at recess, but sometimes it can get noisy out there. Could I introduce you to a few friends who I think you'll have fun with? Leo nods. Miss Perry introduces Leo to Mason, Marcus, and Emmy. The new friends say hello, and Marcus offers Leo some chalk. After recess comes art class. Miss Page greets the students. Welcome to the studio, friends. Today you will draw a picture to decorate your kindness pledge. Please feel free to use any of the materials. Leo's classmates spread out and get straight to work. But Leo isn't sure where to sit or what to create. At home, he loves to draw. He even knows how to draw the entire solar system. But kindness? He's not sure how to draw that. When the students get back to the classroom, Miss Perry says, Our kindness pledge is looking great, but before we leave for the day, let's add a few more. Did you see any examples of kindness today? Kindness pledge. Raise a hand to share. Use kind words. Stay in your own body space. Take turns. Include others when we play. Remember, we don't say, you can't play. If someone falls down, help them back up. Say sorry when you make a mistake. Lucy speaks first. Can we add cleaning up our mess to the list, she says. I think that's important. Yes, very good, Lucy. Anyone else? What else did you see? Miss Perry scans the room. Leo shuts his eyes, hoping it will make him invisible. So Jill raises her hand. I like it when Miss Page apologized for saying my name wrong. She said she's going to practice and get it right next time. Phew! Leo thinks as Miss Perry calls her Lanisha, but then he hears his name. Leo helped me pick up my block pieces this morning after my city tumbled down. That was kind. Leo opens his eyes. More hands rise into the air. I saw Leo picking up a bandage wrapper when we went to the nurse's office. Leo was holding the door open for us at the library. And Leo helped me get up when I fell in PE. Leo opened my lunch for me when I couldn't. Leo stands in wonder. Leo, Miss Perry proclaims, you really know how to be kind in kindergarten. And it's a good reminder that kindness isn't just in the words we say, it's also in what we do. Leo can't believe his ears. While his heart makes the same ba-boom, 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 he feels something else too. This must be what it feels like to be ready for kindergarten. At dismissal, Miss Perry says goodbye to each student one by one. She has so many ways to say goodbye. She gives smiles, fist bumps, and even high fives. She also thanks each student for helping to make the kindness pledge and for being kind. When it's Leo's turn, he has something to say even before Miss Perry can speak. Thank you for being kind, Miss Perry. See you tomorrow. This is Leo on the second day of kindergarten. Sometimes he is still quiet, but sometimes he isn't. And no matter what, he is always kind. Fluffy McWhiskers Cuteness Explosion. Explosions by Stephen W. Martin. Cuteness by Dan Tavis. Fluffy McWhiskers was cute. Dangerously cute. Kaboom! Yes, Fluffy McWhiskers was so cute that if you saw her, kaboom, you'd explode. Elephants, snakes, platypuses, even a cute little koala. If you saw Fluffy McWhiskers, so cute. Kaboom! Ah! Ah! This, of course, made Fluffy very sad and extremely lonely. She tried to fix her problem, an ugly sweater, a bad haircut. Well, here goes nothing. But nothing worked. They only made her cuter. She even tried wearing a paper bag over her head. But that was ridiculously cute. Kaboom! Just when she thought it couldn't get any worse, they published her picture in the newspaper. Animal Times' cutest cat ever! That's when things got out of hand. Kaboom! Kaboom! Fluffy McWhiskers had no choice. She needed to go somewhere far, far away where no one would find her. Eventually, she found exactly what she was looking for. Nope, spoke too soon. You've got to be kidding me! Fluffy tried again. The island was perfect. True, volleyball was not so much fun. Getting her tummy scratched required a lot of work, and pizza took forever to be delivered. Scratch, scratch, scratch. But Fluffy could eat, sleep, read, and even watch the stars from her super cute telescope day after day, night after night. All alone, 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 alone. Again, she tried to fix the problem, but she got hungry. There Fluffy sat day after day, night after night, getting cuter and cuter, and fluffier. Sometimes she tossed a letter out to sea to pass the time. This handwriting is so cute! Kaboom! Kaboom! Until one day, Fluffy heard a very unusual sound. Ruff! Fluffy freaked. Someone was on the island. Someone had found her. Someone was about to explode. Fluffy tried to run, but there was nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Bark, ruff! So she closed her eyes and waited. Huh? Nothing. I don't understand, said Fluffy. Why didn't you explode? Dog? I was going to ask you the same question, Cat, replied the extremely cute dog. Volleyball suddenly became pretty awesome. Getting her tummy scratched required a lot less work. Fluffy had finally found a friend. How cute is that? Kaboom! Woohoo! A piglet named Mercy. Kate DiCamillo, illustrated by Chris Van Dusen. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson lived in a house on Deckerwood Drive. Deckerwood Drive was an ordinary street in an ordinary town. And Mr. and Mrs. Watson were ordinary people who did ordinary things in ordinary ways. One day, Mrs. Watson said to Mr. Watson, I wonder if we aren't just the tiniest bit too predictable. Predictable? Us? Said Mr. Watson. Surely not. It's just that sometimes I wish something different would happen, said Mrs. Watson. Things are just fine as they are, said Mr. Watson. But then something different did happen. Caution, pigs. Molson's pig transport. Someone very small and not at all ordinary found her way to the Watsons' house on Deckerwood Drive. Mr. Watson made the discovery when he opened the door for the morning paper. "Mrs. Watson!" he called. "Come see!" "Oh, the little dear," said Mrs. Watson. "Oink," said the piglet. "I think she's hungry," said Mr. Watson. "Is that a pig?" said Eugenia Lincoln. Eugenia Lincoln lived next door and she did not approve of surprises or pigs. "It is," said Mrs. Watson. "Can you believe our luck?" "Don't be ridiculous," said Eugenia Lincoln. "A pig is not lucky at all." "Do you think perhaps the piglet would like a bottle of warm milk?" said Baby Lincoln. Baby was Eugenia's younger sister, and she was fond of surprises and piglets. Mr. Watson scratched his head. "A bottle of milk? I don't know. This is all so unpredictable." "Leave it to me," said Baby Lincoln. "Oink," said the piglet again. Mrs. Watson picked up the piglet and took her inside. She wrapped her in a blanket. "Have you ever seen anyone so darling?" she said. "Never," said Mr. Watson. "Here is the warm milk," said Baby Lincoln. "I have it right here." Eugenia said, "This is absurd." The piglet did not think it was absurd at all. She drank the entire bottle. And then she burped. Burp. And oinked. And went looking for more. "Oh my goodness," said Mr. Watson. "Watch out," said Eugenia. "She seems to like toast very much," said Baby. "Oh, the darling, darling thing," said Mrs. Watson. "Mr. Watson," said Mrs. Watson, "perhaps you would like to hold her for a bit." "Certainly," said Mr. Watson. He took the piglet in his arms. He rocked her. He hummed. "How extraordinary," said Mr. Watson. "She is a porcine wonder." "This piglet is a wish come true," said Miss Watson. "What a mercy she is," said Baby. "There you go," said Mr. Watson. "We will call her Mercy." "She is not a mercy," said Eugenia. "She is a pig." "Oink, oink," said the piglet. "You cannot name a pig Mercy," shouted Eugenia. But they did name her Mercy. She was entirely unpredictable. She was not at all ordinary, and she was very, very loved. The end. Too Much Glue. Written by Jason Lefebvre. Illustrated by Zach Retz. Our art teacher says, "Too much glue never dries." She reminds us, glue raindrops, not puddles. And she warns me, "Matty, too much glue." But my dad and I love glue. At home, we make glue glasses, glue mustaches, and even glue bouncy balls. Mom is happy to help. So during art class, I find the fullest bottles of glue. I tip them over and squeeze. Glue squishes from the orange tips and slops all over. Sequins and googly eyes float around in a gooey lake. Then it's time for the most important decoration. Geronimo! Oh, I believe I can fly! I belly flop onto the table and roll around, letting the glue and everything else cover me. Time to go on the drying rack, I announce, but when I try to pull myself off the table, I boing right back down. Too much glue, Matty, too much glue! My teacher squawks. This is bad. There's only half an hour until the end of school, and all I can do is lift my head, wave my hands, and wiggle my feet. The rest of me is a blocky, stucky mess. Can somebody help me, I call? While my teacher breathes into a paper bag, Noah shouts, "Let's lasso him!" Izzy, Noah, and Owen get to work. Soon I'm roped from all sides like a rodeo pony. But when they try to pull me out, the lassos break, leaving colorful octopus tentacles everywhere. The glue is too strong, and now I'm a clingy, stringy, blocky, stucky mess. Don't worry, Matty, we know what to do, shout Luke and Grace from across the room. Is that a tow truck? I ask as they wheel the contraption over and stick a plastic hook into my suit of glue. My friends pull one way and the glue pulls the other. Creak, clack, click, crack, click, until... Kaboom! The tow truck explodes and plastic bricks rain all over. Now I'm a clicky, bricky, clingy, stringy, blocky, stucky mess. The school nurse bursts in and checks my temperature. 98.6. Sorry, no fever. I can't send you home early. She dabs and pats me like I'm spilled juice. But the more she blots, the more the glue spreads. Soon I'm a melted, mommy, clicky, bricky, clingy, stringy, blocky, stucky mess. Then the principal comes in. He takes one look at me, sticks a note on my belly, and leaves. Seeing my teacher huffing and puffing like a train gives me a great idea. I whisper it to Haley and Owen. The final bell rings and everyone freezes, except Owen and Haley. It is the biggest one we could make, they shout, fiercely flapping a huge paper fan at me. Then, just as I'm thinking I'll be a note on my tummy, melted mommy, clicky, bricky, clingy, stringy, blocky, stucky glue boy, for the rest of my life, my plan works. Something my teacher said could never happen, happens. The glue dries. But I'm still stuck, and now I hear footsteps. The door starts to open. My father and some other carpool parents walk in. Dad comes closer and inspects me. Then he peels me off the table, glue, yarn, bricks and all. He spins me around. No one makes a sound. Then Dad smiles. Matty, you're a mess masterpiece. He holds me up for everyone to admire. My friends all cheer. Yay! The car ride home is interesting. Mom is speechless when Dad brings me in the house, but he knows just what to do. Well, kiddo, Dad says, some beautiful things only happen once, and this is one of those things. He gently grips the dried glue in front of my neck and behind my collar, and peels me open like a ripe banana. Now it's Dad's turn to glue, and he seals up the sides of the me-shaped work of art. I bet it would take all the glue in the art room to make a U-shaped work of art, Dad, I say. Dad laughs. Then he glues a big magnet to the back of my project and hangs it on the fridge. During dinner, we sneak peeks at my masterpiece, and after dinner, we take the principal's note very seriously. From the desk of Elmer G. Stuckey, please encourage Matty to use tape instead of glue. Grumpy Monkey by Suzanne Lang, illustrated by Max Lang. One wonderful day, Chimpanzee woke to discover that nothing was right. The sun was too bright, the sky was too blue, and the bananas were too sweet. Jim was confused. What's going on? Maybe you're grumpy, suggested Norman from next door. I'm not grumpy, Jim insisted. On his walk, he met Marabou. Jim's grumpy, Norman told Marabou. Why are you grumpy, Jim? Asked Marabou. It's such a wonderful day. Grumpy? Me, I'm not grumpy, said Jim. But look at how you're standing, Marabou said. It's true, said Norman. You're all hunched. So Jim loosened up. Then he ran into Lemur. Jim's grumpy, Norman told Lemur. Why are you grumpy, Jim? Asked Lemur. It's such a wonderful day. Grumpy? Me? I'm not grumpy, said Jim. Your eyebrows look grumpy, said Lemur. It's true, said Norman. They're all bunched up. So Jim raised his brow. Then he tripped over Snake. Oh no, said Norman. That's the last thing you need when you're feeling so grumpy. Grumpy? Me? I'm not grumpy, said Jim. Then why that frown? Said Snake. I think it's because he tripped over you, Norman whispered to Snake, so Jim put on a smile. Finally, Jim looked happy, but he didn't feel happy inside. Everyone wanted Jim to enjoy this wonderful day. You should sing with us, said the bird. No. Jim didn't feel like singing. You should swing with us, said the monkeys. Jim didn't feel like swinging. You should roll with us, said the zebras. Jim didn't feel like rolling. You should stroll with us, said the peacocks. Jim didn't feel like strolling. You should lie in the grass. You should stomp your feet. You should take a bath and make a splash. You should hug someone. You should laugh. You should take a nap. You should eat all the meat or some honey. You should jump up and down. You should sit in the sun. You should dance. But Jim didn't feel like doing any of that. Why are you grumpy, Jim? Asked the others. It's such a wonderful day. I'm not grumpy, shouted Jim as he beat his chest. And he stormed off. Jim felt sorry, a little sorry for shouting at everyone, but mostly sorry for himself. I guess I'm grumpy. Jim sighed, and just as he was starting to feel really sad, he came upon Norman. Norman was slumped, his eyebrows were bunched up, and he was frowning. What's the matter? Are you grumpy? Asked Jim. No, I danced with Porcupine, said Norman. Are you okay? Asked Jim. It hurts, but I'll probably feel better soon enough, said Norman. Are you still grumpy? Yes, said Jim, but I'll probably feel better soon enough too. For now, I need to be grumpy. It's a wonderful day to be grumpy, said Norman. Jim agreed. And he already felt a little bit better. Creepy Crayon. Words Aaron Reynolds. Pictures Caldecott Honor winner Peter Brown. Jasper Rabbit was struggling in school. He was flunking math. He was failing spelling. The only subject he was passing was art. Jasper needed serious help. That's when he found the crayon. It was purple, pointy and perfect, and somehow it looked happy to see him. That night, Jasper knew he had to study for his spelling test, but Tales from the Carrot Patch was on. By the time it was over, he was way too tired to study. The test was a disaster. Jasper couldn't remember how to spell a single word. That's when he noticed something strange. Jasper picked up the crayon. Immediately, he spelled all the words correctly. When he got his test back, he got an A+ and a sticker. The crayon looked pleased. Creepy, but cool. After dinner, Jasper settled in to play Bunny Brawl 3. Math homework first, said Dad. Fine, moaned Jasper. That's when he saw it, scrawled in peculiar purple penmanship. Who needs math when you have Bunny Brawl 3? 3 hours later, he fell asleep, his game in one hand, the purple crayon in the other. When Miss Lopshire announced a surprise math quiz, Jasper panicked. He reached for a pencil, but instead his hand wrapped around the crayon. Suddenly, math seemed easy. He knew when to carry the 1. He knew when to borrow from the bigger numbers. It was like the crayon knew exactly what to do. After the quiz, he saw it, written on his backpack. Jasper plus crayon forever. Jasper felt a shiver go up his spine. Doo-doo-doo. The next day was deadline for the poster contest. Jasper had been working on his entry for weeks. It just needed a few finishing touches. The purple crayon rolled across the table, all by itself. But Jasper ignored it. "Don't ignore me!" He shuddered. He scrubbed the writing off the table. He zipped the crayon into his pencil case. He tried to forget all about the crayon. But when he woke up, his precious artwork was better than ever. It was a horrifying masterpiece in purple. "Fantastic work!" cried Mr. Hoppypot. "You should be very proud." But Jasper didn't feel proud. He felt eked out, freaked out, creeped out. Prize-winning poster. When he got home, Jasper descended into the deepest, darkest corner of his basement. He put the crayon in a dusty box and locked it tight. He went to bed feeling much better. But when he woke up the next day, there, on the mirror, "You need me." In his pencil case, the creepy crayon, and it looked happy to see him. Eee. That day, Jasper got all A+. It was terrible. Enough was enough. Jasper snapped the creepy crayon in two. He melted it in the microwave and threw the mess into the garbage. He drifted to sleep that night, feeling relieved. But when he woke up, there, on his wall, it was a mural of him graduating elementary school with straight A's. And worst of all, it was really well drawn. Straight A's. And next to it, the creepy crayon, purple, pointy, and perfect. All day, no matter what Jasper did, the creepy crayon was there, looking oh so pleased, in his hand, as he aced his vocabulary quiz. In his pocket, as Miss Lopshire named Jasper Most Improved Student. In the crowd, as the school celebrated Jasper in a special assembly. Things were spinning out of control. Jasper couldn't take it anymore. When he got home, he ran straight to the toilet. And he threw the crayon in. It just floated there, spinning slowly. It did not look happy to see him. And then Jasper saw it, scribbled inside the bowl. "Don't you dare!" But Jasper dared. That evening, Tales from the Carrot Patch was on, but Jasper studied for his spelling test. His eyes kept darting to his pencil case. No creepy crayon. He flung the toilet lid up. No creepy crayon. He got into bed, nervously watching his walls. No creepy crayon. During the test, Jasper spelled ocean wrong, but he spelled courage right. He got a C+. It was glorious. It wasn't an A, but it was his. Yay! He headed home from school that day, finally feeling free. Ah, yay! Far, far away was an old sewer pipe. Out and away floated the purple crayon. Slowly, silently, it drifted for days and weeks. One thing was clear. The creepy crayon would never cause trouble ever again. Except that's when Elliot Pelican spotted the creepy crayon. It was purple, pointy, and perfect. And somehow, it looked happy to see him. Hi, my name is Crayon. Aha! Lupita Nyong'o, Sulwe, #1 New York Times bestseller, illustrated by Vashti Harrison. Sulwe was born the color of midnight. She looked nothing like her family, not even a little, not even at all. Mama was the color of dawn, Baba the color of dusk, and Meech, her sister, was the color of high noon. Hardly anyone at school looked like Sulwe either. People gave her sister Mitch pet names like Sunshine and Ray and Beauty. People gave Sulwe names like Blackie and Darky and Night. Sulwe felt very hurt every time, so she hid away while her sister made lots of friends. Sulwe dreamed of being the same color as her sister. She wanted real friends too. So she got the biggest eraser she could find and tried to rub off a layer or two of her darkness. That hurt. She crept into Mama's room and helped herself to her makeup. Oh no, she would hear about this from Mama. So we decided to work from the inside out and ate only the lightest, brightest foods. With a stomachache, she went to bed early and turned to God for a miracle. Dear Lord, why do I look like midnight when my mother looks like dawn? Please make me as fair as the parents I'm from. I want to be beautiful, not just to pretend. I want to have daylight. I want to have friends. If you hear me, my Lord, and would like to comply, may I wake up as bright as the sun in the sky. Amen. When Mama came in to wake her for school the next morning, Sulwe rose to find not a trace of daylight in her midnight skin. Sulwe told Mama everything. Mama asked, "What is your name?" "Sulwe," she muttered. "And what does it mean?" "Store," Sulwe whispered. "Brightness is not in your skin, my love. Brightness is just who you are. As for beauty," Mama said, rubbing Sulwe's stomach the way she always did to comfort her, "you are beautiful." Sulwe sighed. "Well, you are beautiful to me, but you can't rely on what you look like to make you feel beautiful, my sweet. Real beauty comes from your mind and your heart. It begins with how you see yourself, not how others see you. Now, up you get and out you go." How could she, as dark as she was, have brightness in her? How could she have beauty when no one but her mother seemed to see it? How could she be a star? That night, a shooting star appeared at Sulwe's window. "The night sent me," the star said. "Come with me." Sulwe hopped onto the star and off they went. "Long ago, at the beginning of time," said the star, "there was night and day, and they were sisters. They loved each other very much, but people didn't treat the sisters the same. People gave day pet names like lovely and nice and pretty. People gave night names like scary and bad and ugly. She felt hurt every time. Well, night got fed up and walked right off the earth. Day stayed behind and enjoyed making everybody happy in the sun. But then day grew too long. Day began to really miss her sister. So did everybody else. There had to be a way to get her back. Day set off to find Night, and she did. "I miss you," said Day. "I miss you too," said Night, "but you don't know what it's like to be treated badly for being dark." "You're right, I don't," Day replied. "But what I do know is that we need you just the way you are. Come and see." Night returned and the people rejoiced. "We need the darkest night to get the deepest rest. We need you so that we can grow and dream and keep our secrets to ourselves." The stars chimed in. Brightness isn't just for daylight. Light comes in all colors, and some light can only be seen in the dark. While day had a golden glow, with night everything had a silver sheen, elegant and fine. Day told her sister, "When you are darkest is when you are most beautiful. It's when you are most you." Could it be that night did not need to change? Not even a little, not even at all? Now that night and day were back together, a little bit of night returned to day, in the form of shadows, and a little bit of day returned to night in the form of moonlight. They were inseparable from that moment on and promised to celebrate the brightness in each other, whether people choose to see it or not. You see, the star explained, we need them both on their sunniest day and their darkest night, and every shade in between. Together they make the world we know, light and dark, strong and beautiful. Sulwe rose the next morning, beaming. There would be no hiding anymore. She belonged out in the world, dark and beautiful, bright and strong. And if she ever needed a reminder of her brightness, she could look up at the sky on the darkest night to see for herself. Sulwe felt beautiful inside and out.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.